to Spoonie Style. I'm Melanie, your Spoonie Style guide. My room looks a little different than usual, but I'm coming to you from my Spoonie cave as usual. In previous posts, I've shown you the evolution of my Spoonie cave, and so I'm just up on my loft, which is right above my bed here. Today, I wanted to talk to you about balance. And I just wanted to start by saying I don't want to sound preachy, um, but I want everyone to really take a moment and consider and be really thoughtful about really how balanced you are in your medication and your supplements. I know that what medications and what supplements you use is a real personal choice. But what I've noticed as I've spent time on Twitter and in different support groups on Facebook is that people don't really seem to be very balanced. It seems like people tend to be very pro supplement and pro dietary choices, or they're very pro medicine. Um, very few people look at a very balanced view of how can they use the three, because really you want to look at your diet and supplements and medicine and how they can really help you to be your most healthy self. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I do want to start by saying I don't want to come off like preachy. I'm coming from a genuine place, so I hope that people go into this with an open mind, and hopefully just take a little food for thought. And open-mindedness means that you take the time to listen to a viewpoint that maybe you don't agree with, and take the opportunity to hear that viewpoint and maybe come away from it, even if you still go away with your same views. You see the other side, but maybe you're open to the idea that there are some valid points. As a teacher, I did go to graduate school for education, and one of the things that they taught me was to do research. And the importance of research is so that we learned which types of sources were reliable, so that when we took away information that we could use in the classroom to share with other teachers, to share with students, when we wrote papers, because teachers do write books, write research papers to share with our colleagues, to share with our bosses, we wouldn't look stupid. We would be sharing valid information. And so those were the types of skills that we learned in graduate school. And so that's what the skills that I have used with my illness. A lot of times I've noticed that in forums, people are using information that are coming from sources that are not actually valid sources of information. And they're disseminating that information as if it were a fact or as if it were a valid source. And that's troublesome. One of the lamest arguments that I hear people who are into, say, medical marijuana or supplements or vitamins say is that this is all natural. you know what? Um, Penicillin is all natural. Botulism is all natural. Botox is all natural. But those things can kill people. Okay? So don't pull the all natural argument with me because, like I said, I'm an educated person and I know that just because something is natural does not mean that it's not dangerous. Okay? So you need to educate yourself about the dangers of all substances that you put in your body because there are some. Um, so you need to know what those dangers are and you need to weigh them. Don't lie to yourself and say that just because it's all natural, that means it's 100% safe. And there are some indications, that say that you should not take this supplement if you have this disease or in these certain conditions. There are some supplements that you shouldn't take if you're pregnant or you have high blood pressure or if you have this medical condition. If you're going to take supplements, you have to educate yourself. Do not be irresponsible. And see, that's the other reason why in these groups, people should not be pushing supplements on people and recommending supplements to people and supplement shaming people because you never know what somebody's situation is. That is really frustrating to me. And honestly, it's the same thing with foods. There are, for instance, situations where people shouldn't take ginger, right? Just like we figured out that everybody shouldn't have nightshades and other foods. So those are things that you really need to educate yourself about. Please take the time to do the research. Whatever supplements you take, it's important that you own it, and you have to be able to talk to your doctor about it. Whenever I meet a doctor for the first time, I take all of my supplements with me and my vitamins and my enzymes, and I show them to my doctor. And my supplements are pretty non-negotiable. You have to be educated and you have to be able to advocate for yourself and explain to your doctor why you're taking both. For instance, I have a lot of hair loss, which I've shared with you before. So I take skin, hair, and nail supplement, and so that one's going to have maybe repetition of some supplements that are in another vitamin or supplement that you might take, right? So you need to be able to explain to your doctor, no, I'm going to continue to take both of these, right? And so a lot of people with chronic illnesses have vitamin D deficiency. So I take a separate vitamin D, but you might be taking something else that has vitamin D in it. So maybe you have a doctor who is not well versed on that, who might be wondering, why do you take a separate vitamin D? You need to be ready to explain that to them. Right? My eye doctor just gave me supplements to take for my eyes. The cool thing was a lot of the supplements that are in the supplements that he wants me to take, I was already taking. So then I was like all excited and proud because I was like, wow, my eyes probably would have been even worse had I not already been taking some of the supplements that are in this one. But I did have to go ahead and change to his supplements because there were some things that weren't in, that I didn't have and I didn't have access to, which is kind of a bummer because I get my supplements for free, but I need to pay for those because I can't get the same quantity, right? So own it. If you're a supplement taker, don't keep it a secret from your doctor. You need to tell your doctor because the truth of the matter is some supplements interact with drugs. So that's a choice you're going to have to make. If you're that gung-ho on taking your supplements you may at some point have to choose between a medication and a supplement. Um, and that might be a tough choice. So, but you're going to have to be honest about it because you can kill yourself by mixing the two. There are very skilled charlatans out there who have seen a market for making money off of sick people who just genuinely want to get healthy. There are millions of people out there right now with chronic diseases, in a lot of pain, who just want to feel better. And that means nothing more than money to creeps. So all it takes is one of these creeps or 100 of these creeps to go online and make a web page that looks really valid and really real. They can pay somebody or pay 100 somebodies or to open up some email accounts and write some reviews. They can make up credentials. They make up universities that aren't there. They make up hospitals that aren't there. And boom, they've got a company. They have research that isn't real. That's a big scenario. On a small scale, it could be one person sitting behind a computer who has 100 email addresses who does it all by themselves. You never know. A person can be selling an herbal supplement that is junk. You have to remember that herbal supplements are not regulated by the FDA at all. One analogy that I use for people in the United States is I said, you know what? On the most rudimentary level, the thing that I tell my loved ones is one thing big companies are good for is a lawsuit. So if I eat at a hole-in-the-wall place and I get food poisoning, I have very little recourse. But if I eat at a chain restaurant and I get food poisoning, I'm going to make a lot of money suing that chain restaurant, right? So if I order an herbal supplement online from some place that appears to be reputable, but I don't know this place for sure, I just saw some ad online, and I get sick and I die because I have some really bad chronic disease, but I don't want to go to the doctor. I'd rather take an herbal supplement. I have no recourse. But if you, at the very least, go to a reputable herbal supplement place that's local, that you know is a large company, then at least you have a brick and mortar place that you can go back to and you have some kind of recourse if it doesn't work. But at the same time, remember that herbal supplements are not regulated, so you still have limited recourse. Whereas when it comes to doctors, if you have some kind of problem with your treatment with a doctor, you have more recourse if something goes wrong. So that's something to consider. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the first thing that you want to do is always pop a pill. For many years, I treated my illnesses with supplements, and I still do. So I'll share another funny but sad story of intolerance with you. I was in, I'll just say, a community for a rare disease. I won't tell you which one because that'll divulge the community. And I was having a problem with my autoimmune disease that overlapped with this rare disease. And so I asked if anybody else in this community also had autoimmune disease, because I could see how possibly it would overlap with autoimmune disease. So I went back and forth with a couple people for, I'd say like 10 or 15 posts. So several hours later, someone chimed in and was like, this disease is not an autoimmune disease. You just need to get over it and take whatever it is that we take for this particular disease and stop even talking to doctors about it. And I was like really taken off guard, and I said, why would you even say that? I know that this isn't an autoimmune disease. That wasn't the point. I was just asking if anybody else had one. I said I was just recently diagnosed with autoimmune disease, and I was just wondering if anybody had both. I didn't know that one of the requirements was that we could only have one disease here. I'm sorry, you know? and so I've had these experiences where, like these attacking experiences where like people were very intolerant of people taking medication, or people were very intolerant of people talking to doctors at all. And it's like really weird and kind of sad, because like I said, I don't know what else to call it besides ignorant. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you ever meet me in a community, I really vent, and sometimes I feel bad. I kind of crack this joke from Seinfeld. There was this episode where Kramer called Jerry an anti-dentite. And I kind of feel like I'm an anti-doctorite or something, I really vent a lot about how doctors frustrate me, because I lean a lot towards being a supplement person. But I see the need for medication and doctors. When I get the doctor backlash, it's really weird for me, because I'm not a heavy doctor leaner, but it's still needed. So it's like, wow, I'm most definitely not the person who runs to the doctor for every single alley by any means. You should see my stash is like 99% dietary supplements and 1% medication. Not that I should have to defend it at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're 100% medicine. That's your prerogative. I'm sorry that I've been absent lately. Like I said, I've been very ill. I would much rather be chatting with you guys and saying hi. Been very busy writing. I have a book coming out this fall that I contributed to. I am writing a book of my own that I hope to be out in next spring, 2017. I hope to talk to you more soon. I hope that I can be on the road to recovery. I hope that you find the balance that you need to be well, and that it leads you to your skin style. Until next time. Here on YouTube, feel free to leave messages and comments about the different posts that I put on here. However, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to weed through all of the comments that you leave here. So I recommend that you email me on my Gmail account.
There is a Facebook page that you can go to and you can like, and I have daily questions there, and then also you can use that opportunity to post the answers to those questions and read what other people say and maybe meet some new friends.